Like, you're too old to be this stupid. Okay, so it says I'm 68% done with Mark of Athena. I was pushing through this book. This book was so good. So starting with them on the ship, I'm glad we got straight to the point. And Annabeth was like, I feel a chill. I was like, what is it? I don't remember what this is. That was a mess. And then Annabeth says she tries to hide it, but she doesn't completely trust Jason. Yeah, me either. I was feeling crazy because none of you guys say you hate Jason, but I was like, I have a feeling I didn't like Jason and I don't know why. He is annoying. Like the Mark of Athena stuff, that he knew part of it and he didn't want to tell. We're on a quest together. Like, you need to speak up. This is all life or death. Stop keeping secrets. And then she's like, you can trust anybody on this ship. Can you? Because you all are keeping secrets. Piper won't tell anybody about her nightmare dream thing that was real. Jason won't speak about the Mark of Athena. Annabeth won't tell everybody about the Mark of Athena. Nobody's speaking about anything. Frank, honestly, I wouldn't be telling everybody about the firewood thing. It would have been a push to even tell Hazel. I would not be telling everybody that. Obviously, you can trust Percy, but the more not the merrier. I was like, you guys have no communication. Leo's the only one I feel like who actually tries. The rest of them, they're a mess. But when I did open this book, I realized that Piper is in this book and I was irritated. I will give it to her. She's been better than the first book, but I still highlighted some points where she pissed me off. I thought it was funny when Piper was like talking back to Terminus. Why they always talk back to gods when they need help is odd to me. Like, talking back to Mars is a waste of time. Talking back to Juno, okay, whatever, like have your little chit chat back with her. Talking back to Terminus, like, please drop your weapon. And when Piper talked back and he made her little dagger hot, oh yeah, get her. She's pissing me off too. Thought it was super funny when Annabeth and Percy found each other again and then she like flipped him. That was funny. He didn't do anything wrong though, but that was funny. Okay, when they were talking about a woven jail, whatever. I was like, isn't there a giant spider? Isn't her name like Arachne? I remember there being a giant spider, but I couldn't remember if it was this book or the next book. And I was like, I swear there's a giant spider coming. And I believe I am correct. Okay, my problem is when it comes to love triangles, I always root for the person who comes into the love triangle next that makes it a triangle. Like, I'm not gonna say I was rooting for Rachel because that was a super long time ago when I first read it. But I wasn't against it either. And this is the same thing with Leo, Frank, and Hazel. I want Leo to end up with Hazel. For those of you who have not read it yet, or finished the series yet, I won't say what happens, but I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved to see Leo with Hazel. I would love to see Leo with Hazel, and I'd love to see Frank with somebody else. I don't know who. I feel like Frank and Raina, I would like that they're very opposite. If he could get his shit together and stop being so wimpy about everything. And I am a wimp, but I also don't have any powers. So that's different. But Frank, like, everybody's like, it's so cool. You can shapeshift. Yeah, it is so cool. You can turn into any crazy, scary animal. Practice that shit. Speaking of practice, Piper, if you don't get this fucking charm speed together, oh my God. And the thing is, I was thinking about it from a writer's perspective. She can't have it together by the third book because then we'd just be bored. But I need you to get it together. When she was like, maybe I tried to mess up my charm speak on purpose so things would go wrong and Jason want to go back. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, Piper. When Leo and Hazel had their little moment, I was like, oh, you guys are so cute. When Jason, I think it was when he got hit with the brick and then he knocked out for a while or something. I don't remember what happened. And then she's like, what if he lost his memories again? But this time his memories of her. Piper, the memories he lost last time, he didn't lose any memories with you because he never had any memories with you. Those were not real. Why are we still talking about that? He's your boyfriend now. Why are we still talking about something that didn't ever happen? Oh, I have to remember that I'm not 16, so I'm just getting irritated with her more than normal. I've already been through this phase in my life. I don't want to hear it again. Piper had never wanted to make friends with the Romans. She was too worried about losing Jason to his old life. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Don't tell me that. I was like, Ricky should not have included these sentences in this book. Now I'm angry. I also thought it was stupid that Annabeth told Raina exactly where Camp Half-Blood was. You guys weren't even talking that long. Why would you tell her that? That was so dumb. As a child of Athena, that was a terrible move. Aphrodite, when she comes in as Venus, she says, I once promised to make her love life interesting, and didn't I? Yes, you did, Aphrodite. You kept me hooked. in the Battle of the Labyrinth and The Last Olympian. You kept me hooked. You did make it interesting. So much goes on, and then they say Annabeth almost snapped the handle off her teacup. Yeah, Annabeth's losing her shit. She said for years her heart had been torn. First there was Luke Castellan, her first crush, who had only seen her as a little sister. Then he turned evil and decided he liked her right before he died. I was like, am I remembering this wrong? No, literally at his deathbed, he's like, maybe you and me could have been a thing. No, you knew I loved you this whole time and you ignored me and you turned evil. You still ignored me while you were evil? Get out of my fucking face. Get out of my face right now. You're pissing me off. And then next came Percy, who was infuriating but sweet. Yet he seemed to be falling for another girl named Rachel. And then he almost died several times. Yeah, he did. And then finally Annabeth had gotten Percy to herself, only to have him vanish for 6 months and lose his memory. And that's not the end. That's not all. It gets worse. That was funny. I thought it was also really funny when Annabeth's like, she suspected that Nico had a crush on her. Close. Not correct, but close. That was funny. I never got that vibe. First, it was really smart when Annabeth threw her dagger in the water, since Percy's in the water, so he can come back and help them and see something was wrong. And then she runs up to him and says, I love you. I was like, oh, that was so cute. But I was like, have you guys said I love you before? And I highlighted it because I was like, maybe we're going to circle back to that. And we didn't. So now I'm confused. But I don't think they ever said I love you, or maybe they did and we just didn't see it. Okay, and then Hazel and Frank are arguing and Leo's like, I shouldn't have felt pleased, but I was. You know, I'm happy to, Leo. I'm not ashamed to say it. Frank's pissing me off. I guess you care more about your ship than your friends. Frank, you don't even know me. You haven't tried to get to know me. I didn't do anything but look like your girlfriend's friend. I did not do anything but be boring. You have a problem with a dead person and your girlfriend. So go talk to her and talk to him. She's a child of Pluto. Go talk to the dead people, but keep me out of it. I have nothing to do with this. But if you guys break up, I'll be here. I'll be waiting in the wings, as Jacob Black once said. I'm not Team Jacob, by the way. I've always been Team Edward. Frank was really pissing me off when he was trapped underwater with Leo, and then Leo starts some fire and Frank like runs against the wall. Oh my God. I was like, you're so dramatic. And I was like, oh, I see why he kind of freaked out. But also, you don't even have your firewood. He's just literally a big baby, and it's very frustrating. Like, we've had a book, Frank. You gotta start getting your shit together. They're like, you're gonna be the strongest one. Are you? Are you? I feel like I would trust my life more with Leo than Frank. And that's not anything against Leo. What I will never understand is why Gia killed Leo's mom. Like, if you want Leo on your side because you think he's going to be the strongest and the main thing that changes things, the main guy who changes things, then why would you not help him his whole life? You made his life worse and you think he will want to help you? If you would have been helping him, and I can't think of the word, but if you would have been, conditioning isn't the right word, I can't think of the right word, but you could have been building a relationship with him, but instead you did terrible things to him and thought he would be on your side. The math's not math, and like, you're too old to be this stupid. I did feel really bad for Frank when he brought up how his grandmother's house burned down. Rick, I don't think you should have written that. That was too much for me. I've had a terrible year, part of it because of grandparent stuff. So I'm like, yeah, that, Frank, you don't have your mom, you don't have your grandmother, and you don't have your home. That sucks. I do feel for him there. I wish they would have at least let him keep his house. Then I was correct. We did get Hercules, and he was mean. I didn't like that at all. And then that little thing in the water, he was really creepy wanting to marry Piper. That was disgusting. I was like, how old are you? She's like 15. And now I'm at the part where Annabeth is on her quest for the Mark of Athena, and she's literally on it by herself. It was hard having her and Percy leave. That was hard to read. I was gonna say it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch in my head. It was hard to read. But I thought it was super funny when one of the ghosts underground tried to kill her, and she was like, you're dead. Sit down. Like, literally, what do you think you're doing, sir? So yeah, almost done with the Mark of Athena. I would like to finish tonight, but I have to pack some boxes at my house and bring them over here. So probably finish Mark of Athena tomorrow. So that's all. Bye.